lights the red. Next battle commence.
Two Wheels is proudly powered by Broadlink, delivering serious bandwidth for serious business.
Hi, I'm Themba Khumalo. This year I'm racing in the National Supersport 600cc Championship, and Two Wheels TV has asked me to come out today to test the new Hyosung EX250. After riding a bit, I think it's a really good little motorbike.
The Hyosung Naked GD250N is what you get when you let your design software run away with your imagination. This bike has more angles than a geometry book. This does seem to be the flavour of the month when you look at some of the other new models on the market from KTM and the Big Four from Japan. The GD250N is the latest Hyosung to be introduced to the world. The angular serrated naked look comes with a 249cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine, generating a claimed 28 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and a maximum torque of 25 Nm at 7,000 RPM. Transmission is 6 speeds, and the use of alloys and lightweight material means this naked bike is light-footed. A claimed dry weight of 130 kilos, so the power-to-weight ratio should make it competitive in the 250cc commuter sector of the market. Its competitors are the KTM 200 Duke, the Honda 300 and the Kawasaki 300. But where the Hyosung really scores is in its retail price, which is almost 50% cheaper than the opposition. S&T in Korea took over the Hyosung brand a few years ago, and we can see the results in investment with new models being released by them. It did seem that the original Hyosung bikes were outdated in both looks and performance, whereas their new range is like a breath of fresh air. Decent styling combined with ample performance should make them a real force to be contenders in the market.
It's a really cool looking motorbike, but in terms of functionality, it's not really down there. It may be placed within the budget price, but it's definitely not a budget motorbike.
The twin overhead camshaft 4-stroke 250cc engine does seem suspiciously close to the KTM Duke in engine design. Maybe a coincidence, and the exhaust pipe seems pretty similar as well. But anyway, it's a good engine. The chassis has a combination of steel trellis frame combined with cast alloy sections, which seems to do a good job of keeping it in a straight line. The rear shock absorber is mounted in a similar way to the trend-setting Kawasaki ER6. Front forks are upside downers, but could do with more rebound damping by the addition possibly of heavier fork oil. Trendy dash layout gives you all the information you need. A single disc up front and a single disc on the rear provide decent stopping power on this bike. Time to take the 250 Hyosung down to the Two Wheels TV drag strip. Let's see what it can do over the quarter mile. Now we know this is not really relevant to a commuter motorcycle, but it's always interesting to see what sort of top speed it can do and the quarter mile time. Some of the stats for you then: 250cc 4-stroke liquid cooled with a 6-speed transmission, actual capacity 249cc with a heavily over square engine. Claimed weight is 130 kilos dry, 28 horsepower is what is claimed, and does feel about that with 25 Newton meters of torque. Torque not really important on a 4-stroke single. 17 seconds over the quarter mile, 151 k's per hour. Astounding retail price of $39,900.
Good little engine, good little motorbike. If you're looking for a good budget commuter bike, you really have to look at the new Hyosung 250. Anyways, back to Dave, who's at Cayenne with Craig Langton, to speak more about Hyosung.
Craig, certainly a success story is the Hyosung brand in South Africa at the moment.
Absolutely, Dave. You know, we took the brand over just over a year ago, in February, actually, a year ago. And since then, we've sold nearly 400 units, really in 2 models, which has been an absolutely fabulous success. Our dealers are really happy. And I think we've shown South Africans that the new Korean product and level of quality is superb.
We know Korean manufacture from the car side of things. You take Hyundai and those sort of guys. They're not anywhere behind the rest of the world. And I think the bikes are starting to look the same now.
Well, absolutely, the brands followed suit. Hyosung used to be owned in the old days by Daewoo. A few years ago, they were bought out by S&T Motors, and you can see from the new GD250N that the new progression of the Korean technology is starting to filter through.
The 250 opens a whole new market for you as well, and well priced, Craig, I've got to say. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, we've been sweating with the rand where it is, but we've managed to keep it just below 40,000 at 39.9, and it ticks all the right boxes. You know, it's got a digital display, heat gauge, fuel gauge. It's under 40 grand, makes nearly 30 horsepower. It's got a trellis frame, low center of gravity, and performs exceptionally well.
Craig, then, so you've got a market covered now. You expect it to go up, do you think? I mean, you were telling me earlier about dealers in America that could sell 20,000 of these bikes in a year.
Absolutely. I think going forward in the South African environment where motorcycle prices are only getting more and more expensive as the rand goes up, I think with the brand we've ticked all the right boxes in getting the price levels right. You know, we have a 250cc super bike that is still priced at 39.9, and it's a big bike. That's the GT250R. Later on in the year, we're getting the GD250R, which is a fairing race version of the GD250N that you see next to me. The GT650R, we've still managed to keep at 59.9, and these are full sport bikes at under 60,000 rand. So with the dealer inquiries that we're getting, and obviously stable dealers that we've started to appoint around the country, we expect a phenomenal success going forward.
In Cayenne news for this week, Commuter Motorcycles have confirmed that they have re-signed multiple South African champion Brian Kappa as a brand ambassador for 2014. Brian's duties include rider training, demo rides for both off-road and on-road, plus his extreme shows, which are always a hit countrywide. To celebrate the sales success of the Honda CBR 1000 Fireblade, Cayenne Honda Kyalami have developed a limited edition Fireblade in-house, known as the 2014 Performance Edition. These blades upgrades include a performance exhaust and air filter. The good news, the upgrades come at no extra cost. Last weekend's first National Enduro of 2014 was held in the southern Drakensberg with a record number of competitors taking part. In a race won overall by Wade Young, Dino Santoro managed an impressive third overall in the Masters class on his Vita, with teammate Sean Kirk grabbing fourth spot. And finally, the famous name of Norton is back in motorcycling, and Cayenne will be landing their first shipment of Nortons during March of this year. The British-made Nortons feature a twin-cylinder 961cc motor with 3 gorgeous models in their lineup.